Hello, this is a video on how to play the card game Pitch. Pitch is a card game played with 4 players. There are many variations. In this case, we'll be going over the most common set of rules, which is the game of Pitch that has auctions with it as well. So, Pitch makes use of a standard 52 card deck. Play is broken down into hands. Hands are played until the game is over. You form a team with the player across from you and accumulate points from each hand played. There are up to 4 points possible for each hand. Each hand consists of 4 stages: dealing, bidding, playing, and scoring. So, just a heads up, north and south would be on a team, east and west would be on a team. So, in terms of dealing, at the start of the game, the dealer is chosen randomly. From then on, the deal rotates clockwise until the game ends. Each player is dealt 6 cards. The remaining 28 cards are not in play for the hand. In terms of bidding, the player who bids the highest wins the bidding and is the maker. So, the player who wins the bid is the maker. The maker chooses the trump suit and leads the first trick. However, the maker's team is required to take at least the amount of points bid. So, in this case, let us just demonstrate. West bid 2. What we'll do is we'll pass. But now, since West won the bid, West will choose the trump card, and West will lead the first trick. So, bidding begins with the player to the left of the dealer and rotates clockwise. Each player either bids the number of points they expect their team can capture this hand, or they may pass. The first bidder may bid the minimum bid of 2 or pass. The players to follow must either bid greater than any previous bid or pass. The exception is the dealer. When the bidding reaches the dealer, if no one has bid, the dealer must make a bid. They are not allowed to pass. Play consists of 6 tricks, with each trick consisting of 4 cards, 1 card from each player. For each trick, there is a leader, a suit lead, and a winner. The leader is the player who played the first card. The suit lead is the suit of the card played by the leader. The winner of the trick is determined by the best card played of the lead suit. However, if a trump card was played on the trick, the winner of the trick is the player with the highest ranking trump card. So it is standard trick-taking rules. The maker leads first and must lead a card from the trump suit. That is why you see that the maker, in this case West, is the maker. So West led a heart, which is a card from the trump suit. Play continues clockwise to the left, with each player playing a card in turn. Players may play either the suit led or the trump suit if they do not have the lead suit. Players may play either the suit lead or the trump suit even if you have the lead suit. So even if you have the lead suit, you can still choose to play the trump suit if you wish. If you do not have the lead suit, any card can be played. After each player has played a card on the trick, the winning player takes the trick and places it aside until the scoring stage. This player is the leader of the next trick. So the winner of the trick leads the next trick. Play continues until players have no cards left in their hands. So that is what we'll do. Let us simply play. Do note that cards are ranked with ace being the highest and 2 being the lowest, so standard card rankings. In this case, we must follow the lead suit whenever possible. I do apologize for the sound, and so I will do my best to simply get rid of that here, so give me 1 second. So we are back here, and so note that in this case, the lead suit was diamonds, and so right, led by West, and so I have to lead a diamond. I know that my teammate's going to win, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to help my teammate there. However, I don't have any point taking cards, and so what we're going to do is we're just going to simply play, and we'll talk about the point system after. So far the game's pretty simple. Lead suit was a diamond. I have to play a diamond whenever possible. Lead suit was a spade. I don't have a spade. I can play a card from any suit. I'll just play my 2. Lead suit was a club. I have to play my club. So let us just talk about the scoring. Okay? So after the hand has been played out, cards captured by the teams determine the points awarded as follows. There are 4 points possible. 1 point for capturing the highest trump, 1 point for capturing the jack of trump, 1 point for capturing the lowest trump, and 1 point for capturing the most game points. As you can see, these are the game points. So highest trump right here, lowest trump, the jack of trump, and then the game points. Okay, so game points are counted as follows. Aces are worth 4 game points, kings are worth 3 game points, queens are worth 2 game points, jacks are worth 1 game point, and 10s are worth 10 game points. The team with the most game points gets 1 point for having the most game points, right? So in terms of the actual points on the aces and the kings, queens, jacks, and 10s, that won't help you for scoring points, but it'll help you determine who has the most game points, and the person with the most game points scores 1 point for having the most game points. So, what should your objective be in pitch? The objective is simple. You want to capture the highest, lowest, and jack of trump, and you want to capture aces, kings, queens, jacks, and 10s. Those are the 8 cards you want to capture. Any other card won't actually help you gain any points, and so it's not really worth it. Some cards may not be in play. Do note that we are using a standard 52 card deck, but each player is only dealt 6. Do note that we are using a standard 52 card deck, but each player is only dealt 6 cards. Thus, that's a total of 24 cards. And so that would mean that mathematically 28 cards are not in play, right? And so if some cards like the jack of trump aren't in play, then there will not be a point awarded for the jack of trump for the hand. Do note that there will always be a highest and a lowest trump card for the hand, right? Because one trump card will be the highest and one will be the lowest, because high and low is relative to other cards, versus the jack of trumps, which isn't relative to any card. That is just a characteristic of the card itself. If the maker's team scores points greater than or equal to their bid, they receive the points scored. If they scored fewer points than their bid, then they lose the amount of their bid from their score. So the maker team scored 2 points, and they also bid 2, and they met that, and so they get to score. They get to keep all their points. Essentially, if you meet the bid, you get to keep all your points. If you don't meet the bid, so if you meet the bid, you get to keep the points scored for that hand. If you don't meet the bid, then you lose the amount of the bid from your overall total score. The first team to reach a total score of 11 points wins the game. So it's pretty simple. I don't think we have to really go over it. As I play, you'll sort of see. And so my partner here, North, bid 4. And so I'm hoping North has a very strong hand. Looks like they do. I have to follow lead suit whenever I can. And so a heart was played here. I'll play my jack of heart. So a heart was led here. And so I'll do there is I'll lead with my heart, and then once again I don't have a heart, and so I'll simply play that card right there. And so we won the highest, lowest trump, as well as the jack. In terms of game points, we had 33, they had 3. 33 is greater than 3, and so we scored a 1 game point there. So overall we scored 4 points. So right, as you can see, these are the game cards that we won, and so these are the points we had for them. Once again, it would be 4 points for each ace. 4 plus 3, that's 11. Plus 1, 12, plus 1, 13, plus 10, 23, plus 10, 33. They had a queen and a jack, so 2 points for the queen, plus 1, that's 3 points. Since we had more game points, we get to keep the 1 game point scored. Since we met our bid of 4, we get to keep all the points we accumulated in the round. So that was 4. Do note that 4 is a very risky bid in that it basically means that you have to win all the points in the round. Luckily for me, my partner was quite knowledgeable. So what are we going to do? Our partner bid north with spades as trump, so hopefully we can win. But basically what we're going to do here is we are going to do our best to try to meet that bid. So I know my partner played an ace. I'm going to try to play a 10 to help him with the game point, but he played a trump, and so that's very bad for us. We may be in jeopardy of losing this bid. I'll play a jack here because I know my partner played the spade. If you know your partner has guaranteed won the trick, play cards that will help them out. That will help them increase their score in the bid. So they had 18 game points to our 11, so they took the 1 game point, but we had the highest trump, the lowest trump, the jack of trump. We scored 3 points, our bid was 2. Since we scored our bid or greater, right, in this case we scored greater, but you just have to meet your bid, we get to keep the points. In this case we get to keep the 3 points. So let's play again. So trump is diamonds. I'll just play my lowest card there. Trump is diamond, and so it does seem like that they are going to meet the bid here, as they are doing fantastic. Yeah, and so I think they took every single point in that round. Yeah, so they took every single game point, 14-0. They took the highest and the lowest cards there. Do note that the jack of trumps was not dealt there, and so sometimes if the card is not dealt in the 24 cards dealt to the players, then it is simply not scored for. The only card where that would be the case is the jack of trumps. You will always have a highest, a lowest trump, and one team will always take the game point. Do note that if both teams somehow tie for game points, then you can either choose to have both teams score a game point, or both teams score no game point. And so if both teams had, let's say, 7 and 7, then in this case, neither. In this case, we'll pass again. Only bid if you have a lot of a singular suit in your hand, because if you bid and you win, you do determine the trump suit. In this case, I think that just based off of how the hand is going, you can tell which team will win the most game points. And typically the team that wins the game point wins the other points as well, because if you win the game point, you have won the majority of the cards in the hand. And if you win the majority of the cards in the hand, there's a good chance that you've also won the highest and lowest trump, right? So in this case, we'll just play our lowest card here. We don't want to give away our king or 10 if we don't have to. In this case, we do, and these guys are absolutely destroying us here. So I'm not having fun here. So I think we lost every single point there again. Yep, they took all 35 points. So they scored 1, 2, 3. Note that the Jack of Trumps wasn't dealt again. So they wreaked havoc on us there. I'm going to choose to pass. In this case, my partner picks Trump. I have to follow lead suit whenever I can. So far, it's going good. I have the ace of diamonds, luckily for me, so that's a big gain for us. I'll play my 7 of clubs. That's a 6 of diamonds. I can play anything. Won't really affect the way that I guess it's won. The lead suit was a heart, and so would not matter because the trump was played there. So we took the high, the low, the Jack of Trump wasn't dealt, and we had the most game points, so we won. We have the score of 11, and so the first team to reach 11 wins. And so that wraps up how to play the card game Pitch. It's quite simple, as you can see. It's quite fun. I really hope you enjoyed learning this fun and simple card game. The simple card games are often the best because they're easy to pick up. There's not that much of a, I guess, learning curve, and the skill gap is not that big, and so it always makes for a competitive game. That wraps up how to play Pitch. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.